Peace, peace. This is Brother Garfield. This is another episode of the Brother Garfield podcast. This is episode number 2. And today I have a guest that a lot of people are familiar with, but I'm not familiar with. And I'm going to introduce her the way how I know how to introduce her, as someone who has pretty much been a light. Just watching her posts and watch what she's doing. She's been an inspiration to me, but watching her for a while now, a couple of months on Instagram, she's been an inspiration for thousands, not even hundreds of people, thousands, maybe even millions of people. And she goes by the name Chef Ahki Taylor. I might mispronounce her name. She'll say it correctly and correct me about that because I'm very particular when it comes to pronouncing people's names. So this is how I was introduced to her. I was introduced to her by a brother by the name of Brother Simon and King Simon. And I saw King Simon made a post. He made a post on Instagram and he was talking to her, and she just had this energy that just resonated with me so much. I'm like, who is this sister? He's like, she's on Instagram. So when I went on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you guys to laugh, but this is how I saw her on Instagram. And when I saw her on Instagram doing this, I said, this sister here is not only funny, but she's a fun person. And once you look at her, I can't play the music because it's Solange. I don't want to get a strike. But this is her dancing and having fun on Instagram. And when I saw this person, I'm like, you know what? I gotta figure out who this person is. I started doing a little background and saw that she was into the electric cell cooking and eating right and being upright as an individual, especially for women. And seeing that I'm getting more into health, I thought that this would be the perfect person to bring on episode 2 of the Brother Garfield podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to a new person in my life, a new person that I'm bringing to the Dagger Squad. And she's smiling because she's like, look at that video. She's like, I can't believe I did that. How you doing, sister? How are you doing? It's an honor. I know you would laugh.
I'm fabulous. I'm fabulous. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm great. We're not gonna be long. I
Okay.
hope to put this in a 35-minute to 40-minute segment. I don't want it to be long because I think as a people we don't like to gravitate to long videos. So I
Indeed.
want them to get the best of you within this 35-minute period. And I'm also hoping to get the best of you myself because you are an inspiration. How you doing today as far as health, wealth, and prosperity? How you doing?
Oh man, I honestly feel really blessed, really grateful. I have doing this work now has afforded me the ability to uh, live a life that I really dreamed about. You know, I really dreamed to somehow contribute and to help all of humanity through health and wellness, and at the same time live the kind of life that I prefer, which for me was in a tropical climate and residual income. So I feel extremely blessed beyond my wildest dreams. Thank you for asking.
Wow. Um, so I met you because of King Simon, and I've known King Simon from the 90s when he was in the Nation of Islam, and I was partially in the Nation of Islam at the time. We used to work security together.
Hmm.
And I was on his post, and when I saw that he was basically talking to you at an event, and I don't, you know what? He had sent me a flyer. Are you supposed to be at an event November 28th?
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right. So
we
we
are
have to set
honoring
it
the
up.
late great Sabi, who
Mhm.
is today is his birthday. So we'll be honoring him this week, and it's the Sabi-bration. Yeah.
All right. And just for everybody to know, Amir is around. My audience is used to my son by now. They're used to him. He has to have the limelight sometimes. All right. So who is Chef Aki Taylor? In so many words, give me 30 seconds of who you are.
So Chef Aki Taylor. Well, I am My name is Ahki. Okay. I was born and raised in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. My family's out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. I was born in the Southern Baptist Methodist churches. And I'm a woman who now at 41 years age, a wife and a mother and a CEO, someone who's doing her best to continue to be an advocate for health and wellness, particularly for the Black community. I consider myself a freedom fighter. I consider myself a health revolutionary and an activist in the field of health. My highest passion, my highest goal is just to inspire us to return to nature, return back to the ways that our ancestors um, used to heal themselves, and to hopefully make it past all this medical tyranny, this pharmaceutical tyranny. I'm really doing my best to just lead the charge and stay the course in that. So.
All right. On the screen, I have a chart that I put up. It's a chart showing the obesity percentage by race by age 20 and over. For Black women, it's 55% of women over 20 are obese.
Yep.
I'm not concentrating on the men today. I'm really focused on women.
Yeah.
And what do you think with I'm going to show another chart and then we could segue both of them in at the same time.
Okay.
But I want you to speak on. Hold on, let me bring the other chart up. Let me stop sharing and bring the other chart up so that the audience could see the other chart. The other chart is the top 10 causes of death for Black Americans between 1980 and 2016. And when you look at the first cause of death, over 77,000, this is in 2016, disease of the heart, cancer is 70,000, diabetes is fifth at 14,000, kidney disease is 9,000, number 8, and stroke and other deaths are fourth. When you look at the disease of the heart, do you see a correlation between obesity and heart disease? And a lot of people might be surprised that 77,000 people die annually of heart disease, and this is in 2016. So it's probably over 80,000 now.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about this chart, sis?
Yeah. This is the truth, and this is the norm, unfortunately, in the Black community. I don't think people know that these are leading causes, but I don't think they really understand the ramifications of that type of death count for what we as holistic practitioners see as a preventable disease. I don't think that we really get how that affects our community. You know, we talk a lot about crime and, you know, all these different things. We talk about, you know, incarceration. There are many things that affect us, but I don't think we focus enough on the preventable side of things when it comes to our health and wellness. And I'm not surprised by these numbers, Garfield. I'm honestly not. When you say 55% of the Black women or are obese just after the age of 20, that's insane. You never see this in other cultures. This is an us problem. And the Black woman has it more than anybody. But when we talk about the correlation between the heart and diabetes, obesity, all these things are very much connected. And this is what I call just an inflammatory lifestyle. An inflammatory lifestyle. And to go even further, it's an estrogenic lifestyle. And this is connected to just culture and tradition. It's not even so much lack of education anymore because we're in the hashtag Dr. Sebi approved generation at this point. You know, when I first started this thing, I was on Facebook preaching this gospel, and even on MySpace. You know, before I was literally one of the first of maybe there was 15 of us on Instagram when I first got on Instagram. There was nobody there. It was awesome. Okay, it was awesome. And I remember hashtagging alkaline, electric foods, you know, now this thing is huge. So people know what to do for the most part, but they just can't imagine changing their cultural lifestyle in order to do it. And it's like a drug. Honestly, we're all drug addicts when it comes to this type of stuff.
I think you're right when you say it's a drug. It's just the way how it's just the way how we can everyone has a problem in life and we're not perfect. I mean, you might have something you're not great at that you need help with. So your husband might be the one to help you with it, or a friend or somebody close within the circle. You know,
Absolutely.
food has always been my problem. I remember when the Nation of Islam, when I was trying to get into the Nation of Islam, they had like 24 laws you have to live by, and none of the laws applied to me.
Wow.
None of them. They didn't have a law for bad eating habits. They
Wow.
didn't have a law for that. So I was like, I don't need to be in the Nation of Islam because none of the laws apply to me
Mm,
that they have that I'm not supposed to do. The things that they said don't do, I'm already not doing it.
mm,
So I didn't need to be in the Nation of Islam regarding as regard to the laws. But I think eating is a drug.
mhm,
Food is a drug. That's just killing us. And it's not that we have I'm not trying to tell everybody stop eating this right away because I didn't want to come at you and say how do you cook this and that and try to influence people that way because I think that pushes off people that have a problem. I
mhm,
think we just need to eat in smaller portions first. Whatever you're eating,
mhm,
just cut down a little bit, not
mhm,
a half, cut down a quarter, cut down another quarter, and work it that way until you can find an alternative. But one thing I found that you said that's interesting and you teach is that anything that we eat, you could have it in the vegetarian diet because basically it's about the spices. And when I hear that, I'm like, oh, so I can't give up jerk chicken. I
mhm.
can't give up. So tell me, chef, how can I give up jerk chicken? Please tell me.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I was going to speak on that too, because when we decide, hey, I've got a health problem and I need to fix it, most people decide from there, man, I got to give up stuff. And so they already feel defeated, right? Because they know they're addicted to these things. And they may can stop for a day, but not a real change. So I talk to people about how to change their eating habits through eating things that they love or eating things that are similar to what they love, the flavors, the textures, but changing it up a bit. So for example, when I first went vegetarian, I ate alternatives to everything. Whatever I enjoyed, I found an alternative, whether it was the vegan pizzas and the vegan hot dogs and the vegan I love Thai food, so I would get the vegan Thai chicken basil, and I would go to places and just eat vegan alternatives to the stuff that I loved. And even today, my diet has evolved to where even now I don't really need the alternatives. I am very satisfied through just eating nuts, seeds, grain, plants, vegetables, fruits. I'm happy. But the transitional phase is important. So I've written a couple books to help people with that transitional phase. And I even went further and created something called the Electric Academy. And this is like basically the Electric Kitchen com is a course, a 10-week course where I take you through all the phases, teach you how to flavor, teach you how to source, how to shop, how to prepare, how to clean, how to store, etc., and kind of remodel your kitchen and lifestyle so you can start to learn how to infuse your good foods with flavor and texture. That way you don't feel like you're sacrificing anything. And I think that's the biggest thing, particularly with black not only the black American community, but especially the Caribbean and African brothers and sisters, because you all are used to some very flavorful food, like the jerk. So you can jerk your jackfruit, you can jerk your trumpet mushroom, oyster mushroom, you can jerk, other things so that you can still kind of enjoy similar flavors and textures. So that's what I would suggest. If your children like enchiladas, okay, well, we're going to get the vegan cheese and we're going to get the vegan meats to make our enchiladas. and so forth and so on for everything that you enjoy.
All right, let me move on to something that's I when I saw this, I was like, I didn't know sister went this deep, but she's like, what is this guy gonna bring up now? All right.
Uh-oh.
So I saw this flyer on the screen, and this was the keys to a magical vagina webinar.
Oh,
So, ladies and gentlemen, this sister has a class or a webinar. Well, at least it's a webinar, so
yes,
you could broadcast anywhere. It's the
yes.
keys to a to a magical vagina.
Magical,
I'm like,
magical,
oh Lord, oh Lord.
magical.
Then I saw another flyer where you posted this. I'm like, oh man, what's going on here? What's going on? Sister's taking it to a whole nother level here, man. Oh man. She said, how old were you when you discovered the key to your vagina? This is not for us, guys.
That's a
It's not.
great question.
This is for the women today. I'm all for the woman today. So
That's
can
a
you
great
talk about?
question.
And by the way, is this you in this picture? I need to
Yes,
know. This is
yes.
this is this is the sister Chef Ahki here. Wonderful, and you could see the glow. Every picture she takes has a glow on it. This is why at the beginning of the show, when I was introducing you, I showed the video from August 10th. And
Yes.
this is actually the anniversary of my mom's death. So
Okay.
watching it was actually making me smile. So this is how bona fide and down to earth this sister is. Of course, she thinks she's the greatest dancer in the world, of course. But but
This
sis,
is
talk to
so
us
funny.
about the magical vagina webinar while they
Oh,
watching this video.
this is good. Okay, so yeah, you're hitting me with it, Garfield. I love it. This is unexpected, and I love it. So here's the deal. When I discovered my own magical vagina, honestly, I was probably maybe 7 or 8, and I'm being very transparent about that for anyone who's watching, because I think it's very important that we start at an early age talking to children, particularly young girls, about the sacredness of their vaginas and of their wombs. Because my parents did not speak to me about it, I was so intrigued that I kind of went on my own little mission, my secret mission to understand and discover my own vagina. And I was fascinated with it at a very young age. I really wanted to be in tune and understand it. And so for me, I was a multi-orgasmic young person. And this was, as a virgin, this was the truth for me. And I think that a lot of young women experience that and they don't know where to place it. Okay. And this could lead women down a road of serious detriment, or, if honed in the right way, this could be a really, really powerful thing. So when I discovered the keys to a magical vagina, for me, I would say would be more so at maybe 28, 30 years old. Okay, somewhere between 28. In that time, this comes on the heels of 15, 20 years of just very deep self-discovery. Again, coming out of the Baptist church, Methodist church, my ideal was that something must be wrong with me. Something must be wrong with me. Born female, I read about all these, you know, disobedient figures in the Bible that were female. I had all these ideas of shame surrounding my sensuality, my vagina. I had all of these, horrible ideas about being punished with a menstrual cycle, punished with the pains of childbirth. So I had a very in-depth conversation going on with God all through my youth about my vagina and why, what was the problem with my vagina? What was so wrong with me as a woman? And so I had to clean up all of that. And honestly, it really for me was a combination of studying Queen Afua back in 1998. I was studying Queen Afua back in 98. I remember Erica Badu's a good friend of mine, and I was living in Dallas, Texas. Uh-oh, are we still here? I hope so. So
Yeah, I'm
I
good.
was living in Dallas,
I just keep my
Texas.
face off the screen. That's all. Go ahead. Keep going.
Gotcha. In 98. And at this time, I went to a place called Reciprocity. And the Reciprocity in South Dallas, if anybody knows, this was the spot for all folks of higher consciousness in the community to go have juices, have poetry readings, etc., just to commune. And in this place, they would have a plethora of books for us. And Queen Afua Heal Thyself was one of those books. And as I was reading, I said, wow, this woman really gets it. Moving on into her follow-up book, which was Sacred Woman. And at the time, Queen Afua didn't have the virtual classes that she has now. So I had a group of women, and together we went through what she called the gateways of initiation of womanhood. So we had to together put ourselves through these nightly baths, nightly meditations, nightly affirmations, just all of these different practices about sacred femininity, sacred womanhood, and learning how to carry that energy in a sacred way. And sacred to me simply means not only set apart, but also in that everything you honor creator. So with your womb, with your body, with the way you dress, with the way you speak, with everything, you are honoring yourself as sacred. So it changed my internal dialogue from something about, shame and guilt about my womb and my sensuality, but it lifted me in such a way that I felt like, no, 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 no. I am a child of creator, a reflection of creator. My womb is powerful and magical, and I can learn to work with my sexual energy in order to heal myself, and to heal my husband, to heal my man, if this energy is used in the right way. On the flip side, we know what that energy looks like. You could be a succubus. You could be, just really spreading whoredom, energetically. And I didn't want to go down that route. So I was really grateful and very grateful today that at just 18 years old, I was able to come across that kind of information and to be receptive to start that journey of healing myself and that internal conversation. So that is what has helped me to today. I'm able to offer a class like Keys to a Magical Vagina. And I have to state that in the first hour of Keys to a Magical Vagina, that class is just for little girls. Just the first hour is for young girls and for preteens. And for that hour, I talk to the mothers and the aunties about how we can start that conversation of cleanliness and sacredness and understanding about how the young girl should care for their vaginas, because by the time they're getting 16, 18, 21, they're on birth control. They done had 2 STDs. They maybe had 3 abortions, and they're passing all that on to their future generations and to a future husband. So we're seeing that cycle of dis-ease inside of the Black community, where the women are not only leading in obesity but leading in reproductive disease as well. We're looking at 1 in 3 Black women have fibroid cyst, fibroid tumors, ovarian cyst, and it's a real issue out here. It's a pandemic for us. So Keys to a Magical Vagina for me was something that I had to do kind of on the heels of the fibroid elimination diet, which was released in 2016. I felt like I needed to have more of an interactive experience um, to help women kind of dig into the deeper parts. And after we address the girls, the young girls, we send them out of the webinar, and the grown women have a grown-up conversation about how to care for our vaginas. And you will be surprised how many grown ass women don't know how to take care of their vaginas. I mean, it's really unfortunate because the information has been so taboo that the mothers don't always pass the information down, and it's unfortunate.
That was a wow. That was a mouthful. This is my last question of the day.
Okay.
With your Bible upbringing and you're talking about women being healed, do you think the story in Genesis, growing up hearing how it's because of a woman, why we're in the condition that we're in, the blame game for women, and that, because the woman tempted Adam, so it's really the woman's fault, it's Eve's fault. What type of role do you think that plays in healing yourself as far as a woman is concerned?
Mm, that's a heavy one, Garfield. And it's a conversation that I have regularly with my partner, because I believe that scriptures really point to what I would call, I guess, the it's a bigger story, that we're looking at. It's not as simple as the written word that we receive in these scriptures. I look at it almost like as a the macrocosm of the microcosm, right? And so when I think about feminine energy, feminine is receptive, feminine is empathetic, and sometimes we can let our empathy, our emotion, um, get in the way of our intellect. Okay. And I feel like this is a warning. This is a story of caution, that at the end of the day, the masculine energy is really to um, be that left brain, very formidable, very much a true guidance in the form of discipleship to the creator. And I think that it really is making sure, whether it was a woman, I don't necessarily perceive it that way, but I think that it's about the balance of masculine and feminine energy, which we know is just a natural part of life and reality. And I think that if anything, it really is just about the natural empathetic receptivity of the woman, or one femininity, that can get us into trouble. And it's true, and it does happen, and it doesn't mean that all women lack wisdom, or that all men should be the head of anything, because there are many men who are not capable. But generally, it is typically the woman that the devil, or negative forces, will go intent. First and foremost, they come through a woman, or they will try to use a woman, or they will try to, and I see that playing out all the time. So I think that there is some truth to the story, but I don't think that the story has been given to us in such a way that is balanced enough for a young girl hearing that to fully understand and not take on that level of guilt and shame within her being. And I think that that's a disservice to women who want to live a righteous life, and who want to understand who they are, um, in regards to how they should serve humanity and serve Creator. I think that it could be very internally conflictual, if that makes any sense, because it was for me. And yeah, I think it's more of a parable, a microcosm story, if that makes sense.
Hey sis, you know what? Before you go, just give a quick shout out to the event that's coming up November 28th with the Dr. Sabi's birthday celebration. Where's it gonna be? In Georgia, right?
And yeah, it'll be here in Atlanta, Georgia, at a place called Altar Candy, run by Queen Helen. They call her Sacred Secret. Yep, it'll be here at Altar Candy on the 28th. And we're just gonna big up his life. There'll be some drumming, there'll be some food, there'll be some stories shared about his legacy. But many of us wouldn't be able to do the work that we do today. I know for sure I wouldn't, if it was not for the great legacy of Dr. Sabi. So we're definitely going to get together and pay our respects and honor him.
All right. Again, let me thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule. And trust me, I'm your biggest fan on Instagram, and I watch all your videos. And while I'm going out, I have to show this video again for the audience. This
Uh oh.
woman
Oh
is
my God.
light. This woman is light. This woman she made me not think about my mom's death when I watch this video. That's how much that's the compliment I'm gonna give you.
Oh wow.
That's the
Oh
compliment
wow.
I'm gonna give you
Who would
because
have thought this silly video
yeah.
would do
No,
all of
it's not
that?
silly. Don't call that video silly. How dare you? How dare you call this inspirational, great inspirational video?
Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank
The energy of this sister, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 in a million, and you're gonna go down in history as one of the greats that's led us back to what we're supposed to be as human
Oh,
beings.
thank you.
You're definitely gonna be remembered.
Mommy, careful of
I'm giving you your flowers from now, not when 100 years from now after you pass, but I'm giving you your flowers right now. All right. So
Thank you
peace and
so
love,
much.
sis, and thanks for coming on. And it's a pleasure to meet you
An
for the
honor.
first time in my life. It's an honor. Much love, much respect.
Much love. Thank you so much, Garfield. Have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Peace
ma'am.
and love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brother Garfield. I'm out. This is another episode of the Brother Garfield podcast. Next week, you see my main guy in the audience, King Simon. We're going to talk about the great King Simon from his Simon Templar days, Nation of Islam days, preaching in Canada, doing all them things. We working together in X-Men security, NOI security. We doing all of this stuff together for years. So we gonna have a good talk. It's gonna be short. I'm not gonna keep anybody long. I want to keep these talks between 30 and 35 minutes so that we can you know keep it short so the people see what we're doing. We're trying to build, and we're going to talk a little bit about numerology and what he does and so forth, and we're going to get into all that great stuff. All right, so peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. This is your brother Garfield. I hope if you celebrate Thanksgiving or you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a chance to be with your family, which is one of the most important things. And let's ask the family to work together. A family that work together stays together and work together. All right. Peace and love, family. And I'm out of here. Peace. Thanks for tuning in.